You are Black in the Green Room with me, your host, Keith Underwood. And this is your spot for real talk about entertainment with entertainers, creatives, and showbiz professionals. Joining me in the room today is singer, songwriter, producer, actor, and entertainment industry impresario, Eric Benet. Eric, welcome to the room.
What's up, Keith? How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling like all that. How about you?
Ah, man, I'm just blessed, man. I'm at that age now where shoot, when you wake up, you feel good, your body feels good, you in a good mood. Hey,
You said it's
don't
another
complain.
another good day.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
very good. So Eric, you know you've got this new single with Tamar Braxton, and the
hmm
song, what is something we can make love to, and the song is very sexy, and the video is very sexy. What was the inspiration behind the song, and why was Tamar the right woman to sing it with you?
Those are great questions. The first, I'll take it from the last to the end of your question to the beginning. So why was Tamar the right woman? First of all, Tamar's voice is incredible. And I had a chance to meet and work with Tamar while we were on tour with Snoop. Snoop he had kind of like a hip hop musical based on his life, and it was a play. And it was quite a production too, and it was great. Got a chance to just really become really good friends with her. And it's one of those things where when you vibe with somebody on a personal level, especially if you're two artists and two singers, it's like the invariably the question always comes up, when are we gonna work together? I know we gotta work together. When? Well, it's gonna happen. We gotta make it happen. So that was actually during the pandemic when we were or right before the pandemic when we did the Snoop tour. And I I've been blessed enough to start this record label with my business partner, Allison Ball. And of course, if I'm starting a record label, not only am I going to be signing artists, but I'm gonna have to do another record and
Of
release it on my
course, that's
label.
right. That's right.
And Allison had the great idea that you need to do a duets record.
Mm.
Now, Keith, this particular song, I've written and recorded so many songs for this project, but this particular song, the first single, I did not write.
Mm.
This song was written by Lainey Stewart. It comes from an extremely musical family. Tricky Stewart and Lainey Stewart, just brilliant producers and really good friends of ours. And Lainey submitted this song. You think Eric could get down on this? And as soon as I heard the intro, that intro to that joint, it's like, come on, man, I got to do something with this.
You said it's a
And
no-brainer.
it was a no-brainer. And it was actually Tricky who said, you know who would be dope with you on this? Tamar. And I was like, oh my God, I love Tamar. We've been talking about doing something forever. And he literally reached out to Tamar that day. And by the end of the day, she was in the studio putting her vocal on the record. So um I'm glad all that came together like it did, because as you said, the record just feels so sexy and like that authentic R&B.
Hmm.
And it's one of those songs where I didn't write it, but it sure sounds like something I would write.
Absolutely, man. What, Eric, what is outside of something we can make love to, outside of that, what are what's other types of music or the right types of music to make love to?
You know what? The right type of well, personally speaking, I don't make love to nothing that I'm singing on, So like because as a singer-songwriter and a producer, you could play me a song that I recorded 25 years ago, and that song could have been a number one song. And if I'm listening to it, I might be like, man, I got them horns up too high. I'm still producing it,
Ah,
right? So
right,
so,
right,
so
right.
oh man, I got a dope background harmony idea I should have did right there. So it's like,
and
so
then
it's
it's
like,
all gone from there.
yeah, yeah, and it's like my head is out of the game, so to speak. So
Right.
so, but I think just in general, great songs to make love to are are just great love songs, and great love songs are songs that are incredibly vulnerable. You know,
Mhm.
like lyrically and melodically. I think when you can hear not only in the lyric, but when you can hear in the voice of whoever is singing, male or female, that this person that they're singing about, you get the
Mhm.
feeling that this may not even be part of the lyrics, but you get the feeling that if that person was not in their life that they're singing about, I don't know if they're gonna make it.
Right,
you know,
right.
you
That's
know,
a real love song.
yeah, it's like I don't
Yeah.
know if they're gonna be all right. So I think if you have that type of dire, just vulnerable, like need, that is being communicated, that's a great love song.
So it's been 10 years, right, since your last album?
It's been, you can round it off to 10. I think it's really been about 8, but we'll say 10 because
Right.
by the time I started recording that album that was released 8 years ago, it was damn near 10 years since I started it. So it's about that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, man, what have you learned about yourself, your artistry, and the industry during that time period?
What I learned about myself, a lot of some of that was like during the blip, the
Mm,
COVID period.
yes.
What I learned about myself is if I don't have a creative outlet of being on stage and performing,
Hmm.
the way my creativity is set up, something else, that creative energy goes towards the creation of something else. And
Mm,
and during that period, I created wow, I created a TV show.
nice.
It was like, that outlet was cut off. Being on stage, like having that very that intimately emotional experience of standing in front of an audience and singing, which is like important for me to live. That was cut off. So um, somehow my brain just substituted whatever synapses and neurons was being used for that, and I created this TV show that I actually sold, and it was on the All Black Network for a season. And so I think I learned that about myself, where it's like creativity for me is not just an expression; it is it's survival for me. Like
Mm,
like like if God forbid if I lost my voice and I wasn't able to sing, I mean that would probably be like two other branches of the creative tree that would just happen. I might be directing movies, or I might start sculpting or something.
mm.
It just has to be, and I think that's something I learned about myself. Um, and I think my writing, I've learned that over the years, my writing just gets better and better, and more honest and pure.
Mm.
And I don't overthink it like I used to when I was a kid. I let it flow better, and I don't know. I've just learned to enjoy every moment, every moment of this blessed journey that we're on, because you know the beautiful thing about getting older is you really begin to realize that, and it sounds like such a cliche, but it's
Mm.
not about the destination. It's not about, when you embark upon yourself, or I'm going to make this movie, or I'm going to make this album, or I'm going to, whatever it is. It's not about the destination. It's the beauty is in the ups and the downs of the process. And that's where the magic is created.
Mm.
Whenever you're faced with an obstacle, there are an infinite numbers there's an infinite number of options that you can choose to wow, okay, we got this brick wall in front of us. Am I going to go through this wall? Am I going to go around it? Am I going to go under it? Am I going to try to sweet talk this wall? And
Hmm.
am I going to try to change this wall's mind and make it realize it needs to go? So every every obstacle has an infinite number of possible outcomes, and enjoy the process of realizing what you chose in that moment. And I don't know, that's one of the things I learned. Like I'm enjoying all of it. I'm
Yeah,
enjoying all of it.
I love that, man. Over the course of your career, what have you learned about the importance of surrounding yourself with a good team and good partners?
Oh man, you are, oh, that's a great question, Keith. I have always believed in surrounding myself with people who are way more creative than me,
Hmm.
who are way more smarter than me, and who definitely um have an expertise that I can only dream of aspiring to. And so that when you are the captain of that ship,
Hmm.
you just end up looking like the genius of all geniuses, where it's like, you know what, I'm not really a genius. I just know how to assemble an amazing team.
Yes.
Speaking of speaking of which, like when I was blessed um to launch my label, I knew immediately that I wanted to have, as a CEO. That's the other thing. You got to know what your strengths are.
That's right.
Uh I know that I am a creative person, but I'm not necessarily a CEO. And I know that there's a myriad of granular details that a CEO needs to be on top of every moment of every day, and that ain't me.
Hmm.
I'm a big picture guy. I'm like a vision guy. I'm a creative monster, but when it comes to just the administrative and all that granular detail stuff, that ain't me. So it's like I knew exactly who I needed to have in that seat in this company, and that was Allison Ball. Allison Ball used to be the head of A&R at Warner Brothers, and she actually
Mm.
gave me my first record deal.
Nice.
So I reached out to Allison and I was like, "Yo, Allison, I need you to run this thing because we both know me." And she right, and she blessed me. She really did, and we're doing incredible things. We're signing. We just signed like three more artists. My project is absolutely incredible. I can't wait for everybody to hear the depth of this duets project that I'm working on. And but yeah, man, you just got to know who to have on your team. That's the most crucial decision you can make.
Yeah. Speaking of your team and being not being a CEO, being a president, I was reading online a little bit about your company, JBR Creative Group. And man, it seems like a very ambitious project,
Yes.
but a needed one. Um,
Yeah.
why this new approach to the industry and why was it important to you?
Well, thank you for that, man. I mean, our whole mantra at JBR is like, I remember being at Warner Brothers, and look, I am blessed to have the opportunities I've had, and I'm blessed to have been signed to Warner Brothers, and I learned so much, and I would not be here talking to you right now if they hadn't decided to sign me back in the day. But I was also you know, uh, aware enough to notice, wow, there's a lot of things about this system that are so jacked up, man. And
Mm.
it's not specific to Warner Brothers. It's just like major record labels. It's like the artists are not really thought of artists. We're thought of as
Mm.
product that is extremely disposable, and product that it was really weird how this would happen. I was at Warner Brothers long enough to realize that, first of all, that executive turntable, like they fire executives like it's going out of town. Like
Mm-hmm.
by the time I was signed to Warner Brothers, to the time like 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 15 years later, when I asked to be let go, it was completely new personnel. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
the people who signed me, who whatever they saw in me, and they thought, wow, this Eric Benet dude is dope. Like his brand of R&B is super dope. And by the time I asked to leave, nobody there knew me. Nobody there
Mm.
like really knew who I was. And so it was really weird to me that, okay, you guys are going to sign an artist, and then you're going to sign an artist because of their own brand of creative magic. But then once you have that artist, you're going to have all these branches of the company to try to change the artist and tell them what they should be doing. So I just thought that was weird. I thought how the artist wasn't really looked at as a creative force anymore. The artist was just looked at as just, you're just another brand of toothpaste on the shelf at CVS, that
Mm-hmm.
if there ain't no Crest, hey, we always got Colgate, and if we ain't got
Right.
Colgate, we all. So it was just like, so our whole approach at JBR is to be aware that the artist is the captain of that artist's career. Like you are in charge of your career, not me. And and there is a reason why those verses that you lay down, or the way you play, or the way you sing, or the tone in your voice, I signed you for that, and you created that. You know how to do that magic. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. So we look at the artist as like a partnership. Like, yes, at the end of the day, JBR is going to spend the money to try to accomplish a goal, a mutual goal that we have with the artist. We want you to be successful,
Right.
but we want you to have all cylinders firing on the magic that is you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to try to tell none of my artists like how to creatively be. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was always very weird about the way the industry was set up. And it's also about um financial independence. I want the artist to co-own the masters with us. I want the artist to, as the company grows, I want the artist to grow financially. I
Mm-hmm.
want the artist to have financial literacy.
Right.
Um,
You
you know,
develop loyalty that way also.
Absolutely, man.
Yes.
And it's something that I never really felt when I was in the system. I always knew it would be, if the president woke up, and it happened to me. If the president woke up one day and was like, "Nah, we don't feel like putting your stuff out,"
Hmm.
that that's exactly what happened to me. I had an album that I recorded, which I thought was one of the best pieces of work I ever did in my life, when I was on Warner Brothers, and that album was called Better and Better. And as I said, the executives, they would get fired and hired, and all of a sudden there was a new head of black music at Warner Brothers, and for whatever reason, they wasn't feeling Eric Benet. And so I,
Mm-hmm.
I turned in this album that Keith, I thought it was like the best work I'd ever done in my life. I turned in this album, and that head of music was like, "Nah, we ain't feeling this. We ain't gonna put it out." So then, when that was the decision, I remember, okay, then are y'all gonna give me like a budget so that I can go back in the studio and maybe do something else? Maybe y'all feel. And it was like, "Nah, we ain't gonna do that." It's like, oh, damn. Okay,
Wow.
well, are you going to like release me from my contract so that I can go somewhere else, or I can independently do it? They were like, "Nah, we ain't gonna do that either." So it was wild, man. So that was like, if I didn't know it before,
Mm-hmm.
I knew it in that moment, that I really don't mean anything to these people. Like, I understand, like, you don't like my creative statement. I get that. You're a record label. You don't want to invest in this, but at that point, okay, that's time where you let me go.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have the humanity within themselves to do that at that point. So it's just wild. So just going through stuff like that was always in the back of my mind. It's like, yo, if I'm ever in a position where I have a label,
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm gonna see the artists for the beauty and the magic that they are. And so that's kind of like a mission statement of JBR.
Yeah, I love that, Eric. Where can everyone find out more about JBR Creative Group, and where can they find you on social media?
Well, you can hit me up on Instagram, just at Eric Benet. JBR Creative Group is the name of my label, and we have our own IG, and we're signing other artists now. We're always looking,
Mm,
and you can skip all that and just go to my website, ericbenet.net, and yeah, keep up with me and see what we're doing and see what our collective creative statement is at JBR.
yeah. Eric Benet, man, thank you so much. Just much success to you and all of
Thank
your
you.
endeavors, man. And it seems like it's an approach that's not only benefiting you, but artists as well, man. And I appreciate that.
Hey man, I appreciate that. I feel like when the people around you are growing and learning as you grow
Mhm.
and learn, that is the best of all situations of life, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well said. Have a great rest of your day, and I appreciate your time.
Hey man, thanks for talking to me.
Absolutely.
Be sure to follow me, Keith Underwood, at Mr. Keith L. Underwood on IG. You can also follow me on FB at Keith L. Underwood. And you know you gotta follow Black in the Green Room at Black in the Green Room across all platforms. Until next time, this has been Black in the Green Room.